remember getting out of bed in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and as I rose quickly to get up, I felt a little lightheaded, and by the time I got to the bathroom, I had to like hold myself up because it almost made you nauseous too. So it was a real lightheadedness, and I experienced that just several times. But I looked up what that is, and that's called orthostatic hypotension, and that means low pressure upon rising up. I mean, most medical terms are very just descriptive in Latin. But anyhow, what it means is that, when you're lying down flat, you have, maybe just one pillow under your head. Your heart and your brain are on the same level. And the heart lowers its pressure and doesn't pump as hard at night, because if it does, you can get a stroke and you can blow a blood vessel in your head. There's a lot of pressure, and it's going right into your head. But when you get up, your head now is above your heart, and gravity begins to pull down on the blood from your head and resists the pumping up to your head. And the heart is still used to being, when you're lying down, it's not pumping as hard, and it takes a moment for it to catch on and pump harder to get the pressure up to your head. So that lightheadedness you get if you get up too quickly is caused by a sudden increase in the effect of gravity on your head because you changed your head position. This effect of gravity is pretty much completely ignored in medicine. In medical school, I never heard about it. They never discussed gravity. Even though people experience, we obviously are living in a field of gravity, and when we're horizontal or vertical, lying down or standing up, gravity affects our body. It's pulling down. If you're standing up, your brain is now above your heart, and you have a whole other relationship, a different relationship than when you're lying down. So you stand up all day. People who work on their feet, at the end of the day, they actually have increased pressure around their ankles. The water is being pulled by gravity, all your fluids. And valves and pumps keep it flowing, but it does collect in the tissue spaces, and people can get puffy ankles at the end of the day. So when you put your feet up, at the end of the day, it helps relieve some of that, and gravity pulls it back down. So it feels really good to put your legs up at the end of the day for that, and it also feels good for the same reason to put your head down, because after it's up all day, by the end of the day, you can get too low pressure in your head, just like you're getting too high pressure in your feet, and lying down gets more pressure in your head. And you can even tell the pressure in your, the effect. If you have veins that stick out in your arms, you can just do this simple experiment. Hold your arm straight out and look at the veins behind your hand. And then if you stick your arm up and look, you'll see your veins disappear. And you have to do that for yourself, obviously. But that is just pure gravity. If you hold your hand up long enough, it'll start to tingle. And you lose circulation in your hand because gravity is now resisting the pumping to your hand and assisting the drainage from. So your hand is getting deprived of fluid. Now, if you put it down and hang it, you'll feel the pressure suddenly shoot into your hand. And if it was up a long enough time, it would almost hurt when you put it down when the pressure comes in. And your hand will turn red. Well, the same thing happens with your head. And in fact, when a person lies down, you can see neck veins sticking out in their necks, which is from the blood pooling between the head and the heart. Because the heart is sucking it in. It's pumping on one side, but it's sucking on the other. And the only thing propelling the blood forward at that point is the pressure of the heart when you're lying down. The heart is having to push blood to your head, go through the entire brain, soak back and become cerebral spinal fluid, go back into the veins, and then come down back into the heart. And the only thing pushing that through is your heart. Now, when you stand up, gravity pulls. Your heart beats harder, and there's more circulation. There's flow. You lie down, the gravity stops, the heart mellows out, and then the whole circulation becomes slower and more stagnant. And in fact, if you're down long hours every night and your head is getting pressurized because it's getting pressure, but the circulation isn't as good, what ends up happening is in the morning you wake up, you have sinus congestion, you have baggy eyes, you can have a headache, And people get all sorts of other problems. Now, the way we discovered this, so it was by my own personal experience, made me realize the gravity effect. And then as we thought, okay, could this be causing migraines?